Closing costs are not just something that home buyers need to worry about. There are also some seller closing costs that can take you by surprise if you are not prepared. Stay tuned if you want to know how much it will cost you to sell your house. Let's roll! Hello everyone, Eva Aguilar here, your realtor in Las Vegas. If it's your first time visiting my channel, do not leave without subscribing. I share awesome videos every week. Okay, for sellers, closing costs are all the fees associated with completing the sale and the transfer of the home. How much you will have to pay in closing costs varies by state and with each transaction. Assuming you are going to hire a realtor in Las Vegas, as a seller you can expect to pay anywhere from 6 to 8% of the home sales price. This won't be cash out of your pocket, okay? Rather, it will be deducted from the profit of your home unless you are selling with a very low equity in your mortgage. In this case, you might need to bring a little bit of cash to the table to satisfy your lender and some closing costs. So let's do a quick breakdown of those costs and fees. Number 1, real estate agent commission. Typically, the seller pays the real estate agent's commission. You hire an agent and you agree to pay X percentage of the sales price of the house. In Las Vegas, typical commission is 6% of the sales price. So when buyers come along, if they are represented by an agent, your agent will have to pay the buyer's agent's commission. Yes, we don't keep all that for ourselves, okay? We split it with the other agent, we pay our brokerage, and we pay for all the marketing expenses. So don't think that your realtor is getting millionaire. It doesn't work that way. Besides the commission, fees and taxes are an additional 2% of the sales. Number 2, owner's title insurance. This policy protects the buyers against any defects on the title in the future. Typically, the cost is paid by the seller and is based on the loan amount. Number 3, property transfer tax. These are the taxes you will have to pay when the title of the home passes from you to the buyers at the time of closing. The taxes are imposed by the state or local government. I will leave in the description a link with a Clark County calculator from the transfer tax so you can have an idea how it's calculated. Number 4, prorated property taxes. When you own a property, you have to pay property taxes, and when you sell your house, you will be responsible for prorated property taxes up to the closing date. After the property changes hands, the buyer will have to pay that. If you have already paid your taxes for the whole year, you might actually get a rebate at closing. If the taxes are not prepaid or you are behind, you will have to pay them at closing in order to close the deal. Number 5, loan payoff. Your mortgage payoff balance usually is a little bit higher than the remaining balance of your mortgage because of lender's provided interest on the mortgage. In some cases, your lender might require you to pay the prepayment penalty. Make sure to talk with your lender about what will be required to pay off your mortgage balance. Number 6, escrow and recording fees. This is a fee paid to the escrow company and usually is split 50-50 between seller and buyer. Recording fees include the signing and recording of the closing documents and the deed, as well as the holding of all the purchase funds. Number 7, HOA fees. If you live in the community with HOA, just like with the property taxes, you will have to make sure you have paid up your own association dues on time. If you are behind on your dues, you will have to pay them at closing to bring yourself up to date. The HOA also charges the CIC transfer fee to transfer your property to the new homeowner. The cost of these fees vary from the HOA to HOA. Additionally, you will have to pay upfront for the resale package and the statement of demand. Once again, every HOA has different set prices for the closing package, but typically goes around $400. Number 8, seller's contributions toward buyer's closing costs. In Las Vegas, some first-time home buyers might ask you to pay the total of a portion of the closing costs. First-time home buyers usually do not have all the necessary money to cover their closing costs and might need a little bit of your help. If you agree with that, then we are talking about another 2 to 3% that will be added to your closing cost. Number 9, home warranty. Typically in Las Vegas, the buyers require to the seller a home warranty, especially if they are not asking for any concessions. They want to make sure they are not going to have any issues and major expenses the first years they live in the house. A home warranty is usually around $500 per year. As I mentioned in the beginning, generally speaking, we can say that selling your home will cost you around 6 to 8% of the sale price, but every sale is different and some costs are negotiable. For the final cost, you will have also to consider the condition of your home and how much you want to spend on repairs, cleaning or staging. When you are ready to sell, ask your agent to prepare a net sheet for you so you have a closer idea on how much it will cost you to sell your home and therefore how much money you will net. There you go. Now you might have an idea how much it will cost you to sell your home. But do you have an idea how much is your home worth? Are you familiar with your market? I know, maybe you're looking on Zillow, but most of the time their prices are not accurate. Just saying. If you live in Las Vegas and you want to find out how much your home is worth because you are thinking about selling in 6 months or so, click the link in the description to get a free and no obligation home market analysis. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments below. I would love to hear about your concerns about selling your home. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.